Yo, everyday superpower. You know we're back. Talk a little bit. Talk about some game. Human beings, communication, that's what we do here. If you want the real info, if you want to read people from the moment you see them, click the link down in the description of this video where we're going to go into depth in real time. Alright, so click the link down in the description now. Without further ado, today we're going to talk about the character of people, okay? And we're going to talk about patterns when it comes to body language. Alright, we pay attention to patterns, pattern recognition. That's our way of applying, the meaning of certain behaviours and gestures. We take it from one person, see it manifest in another person, and start to make sense out of it dependent on the context of when we see these behaviours and what triggers these behaviours in these different people and so forth. We start to build a little bit of a picture, right? So let's also throw into the mix actions. Yeah, now this is going to be quite a deep one, but it's something you should take very serious. If somebody has done something, they'll do it again. Okay? So let's talk about a few different ideas and conjure up a couple of perspectives as to what I mean by that. If somebody has done it before, they will do it again. If somebody has cheated on their partner, it's in their nature to do so. It's in their character to do so because they've consciously made the decision to do so. So that's within their person. Now, whether you consider that right or wrong is completely up to you and your principles and your morals. But what I'm saying is, if they've done it once before, they'll do it again, or at least they will always have that urge to do so, unless something traumatizes them to the degree of turning them off and away from feeling that way and pursuing that action. You see where I'm coming from? If somebody, we say, oh, I've got an addictive personality, they've got an addictive personality. If somebody is prone to abusing substances and abuses cigarettes, it might be in their best interest to not start gambling or start drinking or start, going into any new realms as to which this pattern that manifests within their life could potentially come about and create a bad situation. I know, and I speak from personal experience. I'm not gonna ever gamble because I know that my brain enjoys the thrill of risk. Okay? It's in my character, it's in my nature. If somebody has talked about you behind your back in a negative way, they will do it again. You might catch them and they might say, sorry, and let's say they literally don't, but that's not to say that they aren't the person who wants to do that. They really want to, but unfortunately the humiliation of being caught in the act is preventing them from doing it once more. Years on down the line, they may continue doing that. Or they may not do it to you, but they might do it to your family members and to your friends close to you. Continue doing so because it's in their nature, it's in their character. Yeah? The only patterns that can be broken and exceptions to this rule is within ourselves, because we can't change other people unless extreme doctoring, needless, involvement on our end is actioned. We don't have the time or the energy to do that, to try or change people. We don't have the time or energy to risk even bothering to attempt to do that. So we just must accept the person and allow it to be. When you're in a relationship with someone, you see the good and the bad. So when we talk about characteristics and character and the personality of the person, we are also considering the patterns that emerge through good behaviours and good actions, okay? There's a lot of good if we pay attention to that. Someone might be generous, honest, and that may manifest throughout their life. Now, you can still reapply that information in a negative sense and say, they're so generous, that people abuse that. They're so honest that they consistently hurt people's feelings. It's within them. They've done it before, they'll do it again. Okay? If someone comes to you and talks bad on another person, yes, they will do that to you, because if they've done it once, they'll do it again. They've taken the chance and the opportunity to show you who they are. You see? When people come up to somebody around you and they're too nice to them and they put an act on, they have the potential of putting an act on with you. And I know we all put a mask on to some extent, and we, chameleonize ourselves dependent on whom we're speaking to and so forth. But there should be a boundary as to how far you're willing to stretch outside of your own being to appease somebody else, right? So that's up to you to interpret. If they've done it before, they will do it again. If somebody has robbed something from you, stolen from you, that's the only time you need to acknowledge that. Don't give them a second chance. It's within their nature. They have had an urge to steal from you, and they have done it. They will do it again. And the thing is, you can believe they won't, and that's completely fine. Maybe they never will, right? For some reason, maybe they won't have the opportunity or chance or the momentum established to do that again, right? But you have taken a big risk to keep them around. There must be some degree of balance within that relationship, some benefit as to which you feel it's okay to allow this thief to remain within you and your loved one's space. Within your loved one's space indirectly, okay? They're one person away. You. From meeting these other people and harming their well-being. If somebody has committed a criminal act, intentionally, consciously being aware of what they're doing, chances are they will do it again, or they will have the urge to do it again. They are not law-abiding. Now, where I stand on that, it depends on what's going on, but it is what it is. If someone is irrational, they are an irrational person. If somebody is emotional, it is within them to be an emotional person. You must see things as they are, understand them, and believe in that. And that's fine, because we all have a 50-50. We all have a light side and a dark side. We all have very good aspects of who we are. And on the flip side, we have the negatives. Okay? We're not perfect. We're nowhere near perfect. We all have something to balance out the nature of whom we are and to allow our existence to be. If something was so perfect, you'd think, where's the catch? What's going on? Do you know who you are and your negatives? Look into yourself. What patterns emerge from your negative when it comes to your communication with people? There will be a lot of stuff that goes on, probably outside of your own awareness, purely as the effect you have on others may go under wraps. They may not let you know out of fear of being critical or harmful to you. So you yourself need to look inwards and find out the negative cycles that your character manifests. If you look at the small, you can then look at the large, If somebody can steal a 5 pence, a 5-cent sweet from the shop, then they can steal a car, they can steal an entity of whatever you wish to place it upon. Because it's within their character to steal at a foundational level, okay? So whether it be small or big, that's not to be questioned. It just is what it is. If someone makes a good decision on the road to stay within the speed, the appropriate speed, and they establish that day in, day out. You might take them going over the speed limit as something bizarre and odd and to be questioned. Perhaps that's an argument against what I've been speaking of. Because if they do it so consistently and then break that good pattern with a negative, do you take that as them being able to do so and so you can see them speeding down the line? Or is that a one-off down to circumstances to whether they have to be somewhere? But then you know that given the circumstances right, they will be willing to break that and showcase the darker side of them as to where they step outside of the boundaries. The mask is off. I did a video based on have you seen the real them as far as removal of the mask and so forth. People reveal their true colours in very bizarre ways, and when you think something is odd and somebody acts in an odd manner, that still is their behaviour, that still is them. That's just not the them you have been accustomed to seeing. It's shocking. So I'm asking you to look at people around you and how they react to you, and if anything you disagree with comes to mind, understand that that is them and they will do that again and again and again. Okay, maybe overt, maybe covert, but it's within their character. Such is your character and how you act towards other people. Okay, the light and dark aspects. I'm signing out. Peace.